Hi, and welcome back to amyjoy.co. I'm really glad that you could join back in for this next video episode. Thanks for reading the blog so far, and really just appreciate you guys being a part of this journey with me. Recently released the Dream Intro, and if any of you were wondering what that was about, well, it's so that I can start a number of series based on the word dream and what your dreams are. So for today's set, we're going to do these outside. For a little bit of a different background, and because sometimes your dream is just to get away from it all. I like to just get outside of my current environment sometimes when I'm getting ready to do something like a video and go, let's change it up a bit. Why not have a dream that says that you live in a multiple acre property in an incredible area? Or to have a dream that you have fruit trees in your yard. For us, that dream's actually come quite true, and it's been really amazing just to see all of that become a part of what we're doing. The first series I'm looking at on these, and I like acrostics, so I'm working with these as the letters that they are, starts with define recognizable examples of achieving momentum. Now, each one of those I'm going to go into in a little bit more depth. I really think that as you look at what your dreams are, sometimes we have to take this at different angles. There's not one answer to what your dream is or how to present that. Part of that, and the very first part of that process, is to define what your dream is. What do you dream about? Is it something huge? You want to be a movie star? Is it you want to get married? You want to have kids? Is your dream to travel the world and see every country? Is your dream something a little bit smaller and closer to home, to own your own business, which is actually not really smaller, or just to have a dream of finishing your school or getting up the next day and making sure your kids actually got off to school might be a dream for some of you. The dream might be having some alone time from your children. You have a lot of different things that you'll dream about, but anybody that's dreaming, it usually comes down to wanting to make a change in their life. You can dream all you want and nothing changes unless you decide to make a decision to move forward with that. So when you're dreaming, try and sit down and write a list of those dreams. What, if you looked at all of them, could actually make that happen? Sometimes we forget how to dream. We've spent our whole lives being told you can't do this, you can't do that. Then when you sit down and try and define a dream, the first time I was asked, I sat there and went, oh, what is my dream? You know, I do this and I do that. And, you know, a lot of times we define who we are by what we do, not who we actually are. But I couldn't define what I actually meant by dreaming. You dream at night, you go to sleep, and things come through your subconscious. Sometimes you blame those on the pizza you had the night before, sometimes on other things. And most of the time, you sit there and go, oh, it's just something that came about because I was overtired. But when you actually sit down and define your dreams, it gives you another sense of purpose. It gives you a way to move forward and a way to get outside of yourself and become something more than you are. It gives you a thing or an item or a person or a goal that says, I want to change my life and I want to change it to this. I have something I am aiming for. And by defining that dream, it gives you a whole list of options that you can then actually use in order to make your dream come true. Dreams can be very weird if you're just asleep. You may have had your purple unicorn dream, or that you were in The Wizard of Oz as the Tin Man. I hope you found your heart if you were. You could have dreamt that you were in a sci-fi movie, or that you were Cinderella, Prince Charming for some of you. Those dreams are not very realistic in a normal sense, but they're what we're taught we should dream for. From little children, we're told the definition of this is to have a success based on those dreams of being something that's just completely impossible. So instead of saying something that's completely impossible, start defining what's a dream that, even though it might seem impossible to you, is something that you can actually work towards. Write them down. Take some time. Take an hour out by yourself if that's possible. Shut off other noise, unlike the airplane that just went past here. And sit down and go, what if I were to define my dreams today? What would they be? Do I have something that I've always been passionate about in my life? Is there something that just draws me to go beyond myself? Is your dream helping other people? Have you always wanted to do that but never thought you could? Did you dream of changing your circumstances? Many people have that. And when you sit down and you start to define those dreams, get to the end of that list and then go, if I were to actually achieve these dreams, how would that change my life? What difference would there be in my life if I achieved that dream? So now that you've got something to start on, go and take a little bit of time. You need to probably do this by yourself, but it doesn't hurt to then take those to somebody close to you and go, do you see these as the dreams that I have? Do you recognize this in me? It's sometimes good to bounce that off of somebody else because they will see things that you may not, or you may have mentioned things in passing that you have completely forgotten about yourself. If you have children, ask some of them. They may actually remember more than you do. Or if you don't, your spouse, your best friend, someone that you go to work with, that you really talk to, your coffee mate. It could be the person that makes your coffee at the local coffee shop. Quite often we talk to them more than anyone else. Or your hairdresser. Anyway, take a minute, go and define your dreams, and then get ready for the next video to take a look at what to do next. I hope you enjoy this exercise. Really take some time with it because it's a real eye-opener for many of us as to what we really dream about. Thanks, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. In the meantime, please share these and get this out. amyjoy.co. Get on Facebook. It's under Amy Joy. Instagram. We're on LinkedIn. And start connecting us out so that we can spread this to create a community worldwide that gets to really experience and grow from this.